Hi, everyone. I just mentioned in my Tuesday live that I did a few minutes ago that I was going to do this video to show you some low volume keywords on Etsy that are really not low volume, but they look like they are. But you could be missing out if you don't investigate some of these because a lot of keywords, well, let's just go over into Marmalade and I'll show you how this works because I think a lot of people do miss out on opportunities for new products and just to be found for different things because they don't think it's a good keyword when it really is. All right, this came up because I did a keyword list for Father's Day. So it was terms around Father's Day, and I came across a few that I would have just ignored if I didn't know that they kept coming up in different variations. And I think that the thing that people are missing out on when they're using keyword tools is that you see one thing and you're like, oh, well, that's not so good. And I had this search for the wrong thing. But you see something and you're like, oh, that's low engagement. It's low volume. Search volume is low. I'm not going to do anything with that. And then you miss out on the fact that the way that search tools work is that they're only showing you the data for that one specific keyword. So this was Father's Day. Okay, Father's Day has a lot of search volume, and obviously it is going up because Father's Day is coming up. And so it's going to be going up this month. That makes total sense. But the keyword that I saw, and I'm giving you one of these, there were three of them. There are actually more. There were at least three that I noticed in this list that I did that kept coming up in different forms, and I never would have thought of them. Okay. One was Father's Day mom, and they were all about Father's Day cards and gifts for a single mom who is both mom and dad. Now, I never would have thought of that, but it's actually a thing because it kept coming up in different forms. But see what happens if you look at any of these keyword tools, it's just looking at this one phrase. So it's not looking at all the variations of the phrase that you could be searching for. And people search for this in a lot of different ways. So Father's Day mom is searched 33 times. Okay, let's do Father's Day mom. Pretty much the same thing, but it's British, not American. Less than 25. Now people would say, "Oh my God, I'm not going to search. I'm not going to use that." But yes, you should. Okay, and I'll explain why in a minute. Okay, another one would be let's do single mom. Single mom. So we have 33 plus 25, so that's 58 at this point as far as searches go, search volume. Father's Day single mom is pretty much the same idea. Basically, the search tools look at the phrase, not the idea. Okay. So this says less than 25, but we're going to add that to our 58 and we're going to get 83. Okay. So now we're up to 83 search volume for phrases around this concept, this idea. And it's just that it is written in a different way. And so the search tools are giving you the exact data for this exact phrase. And they're not thinking about all the other variations that could be there. So now we're going to do single mom Father's Day. So we're up to 83 now. And just remember, all of these mean about the same thing. So this says less than 25. I'm just going to use 25. So now it's 113, right? So let's put this in. I'm not sure if this is going to give me a different number or not. It'll probably still be low. But the point is that people type ideas into search engines in a lot of different ways, right? Let's do single mother. Single mother Father's Day. And it's going to give you this, the tools are going to give you the exact phrase data. They're not giving you the idea data. All right. So we're up to 113. Now we can add another, say 25. So that's 138. Okay. So the more variations we have on this type of phrase that explains this idea, the more search volume you have behind it. Let's look up Father's Day card, single mom. I'm going to do this because I know how Etsy handles this one. Okay. And it's a good example when we get over to Etsy. Or I think I had mom Father's Day card, but we'll use this one. All right. So this says the competition is really low. That's something to note because on Etsy, they're not going to tell you the real competition. Marmalade is telling you exactly how many listings on Etsy have these words in them. Not necessarily in that order, but just in them. So 168 is really low. Let's scroll all the way down here. But see, here we have mom card, Father's Day for mom, single mom card, single mom. So you can find a lot of related terms in here. And it's possible that that would be a good keyword to target for products. If you have, it's a Father's Day card. If you sell digital cards, then you could do Father's Day cards for single moms and mums. You could do two different variations of it. And it's digital, so people can buy it all over the world. And that might be a good thing to do. Now I'm over on Etsy and I'm going to search for this just to see what comes up. Okay. Because, oh, look, only 803 results. Now, sometimes it'll say 1,000 plus, and it usually will do that unless it is really low competition. But if I have now found this keyword Father's Day card single mom, okay, let me change it to mom and see what happens, because sometimes that will change it if Etsy's not treating the word exactly the same. Now, see, now it's gone to 1,000. So let's take it from here. So we know that mum is a good option because the competition is really low. And my guess would be, let's go back to this page. My guess would be that there aren't really that many. Like, see, this is coming up. This is not an ad. This is an organic result. Happy Father's Day, mom. This doesn't say mum. So I'm not sure if it says mum somewhere in the listing. This says mom. This says mom. So this tells me that Etsy doesn't have a whole lot that it can match to this keyword. And so it's reaching a little bit, like it's reaching into mom instead of mum. So let's say that you make greeting cards and you have a bunch that say Happy Father's Day, Mom. You might want to make a version that says Happy Father's Day, Mum, because that's a better match. And it could be that there aren't a tremendous number of people searching for it, but how hard is it to go in and change one letter in a design that you already have, right? This is the kind of thing you need to think about. Kind of spread yourself out a little bit. Think a little bit beyond what you have already. And it's not much of an effort. You can list that and you probably will sell some because there's not many things to choose from here that seem to be relevant. And there are some, like this one says mom. See, this is right up at the top of organic. It's because it says mom, it's a good match. And I'm sure that there are other ones on here, but I don't see a whole lot. You know, I think this one says, does this one say mom? This one does say mom. Okay. So there are some, but there's not a tremendous number. So that's just something to take note of. Now let's change this to mom. And this does say 1,000. Okay. So we're not sure exactly how many there are. What I'm going to do is go down here and just look to see at the bottom, like, are these actually relevant to a single Father's Day card for mom? Okay. This is to a dad. Dad, you are the best mom I've ever had. That's a single dad. Or maybe it's for mom. I don't know. It could, I guess it could be dude. This is double duty. Heather, Happy Father's Day, mom. These are relatively relevant. Most of these are, you know, this one's a little questionable. But what you want to do is just kind of go through and look and see how long it takes before Etsy kind of gets off course. When it starts getting off course, see, dad, thank you for my amazing music. That's for a father-daughter relationship. This is for a father. So their Father's Day, which is part of the search query, but it's starting to get off course already on page 2. So what you want to do is just take note of that. And there were, it's like, this is mom, you're the best dad a mom can be. So this is on page 3. It should be up on page 1 or page 2 based on the search query, but that's just how Etsy works. But just go through here and start seeing where are you really starting to see results that don't fit. And if it's pretty close to the beginning of search results, then you're pretty sure that Etsy doesn't have a whole lot of things to put in there. So they're just giving you things that they think are close enough. And if that's the case, then the competition is pretty low and you might be able to get your foot in there if you do a good listing that has the correct words and the correct intent, the correct idea. Think of ideas, not exact word order match. Okay, we're working with ideas now. So do the correct idea and put a whole bunch of different variations in there. Put one with mom, put one with mom, put one with mother, put one with single mom. Just put a whole bunch of different keywords in there that will match up and tell Etsy that, yeah, this is a really relevant result because it has all these different word order matches in there, even if individually those word order matches do not show a whole lot of search volume. It doesn't matter because when you start adding them all up, it increases the number of searches for that idea and the concept. And that's what you want. All right. So please leave me any questions. Give this video a thumbs up. I hope this was kind of a light bulb moment. And you can get the Father's Day gift keyword guide in the listing. I'll put the listing link in the description. And there were a bunch of these. There were a bunch of these in there. So leave me any questions and I will talk to you later.